Herbie, give me your top 5 takeaways after the first full, huge weekend of college football.
The weekend's still here, right? We started Thursday night with your ball club in West Lafayette, and we're going to finish. We're going to finish strong tonight with Florida State and Virginia Tech here in Tallahassee. But a lot of games, a lot to dissect after this first week. I'm going to start with Michigan. This is a team that myself and a lot of people had high expectations for what they could do offensively with Shea Patterson, and obviously they struggled in a big way. Their offensive line could not get much push at all. They couldn't run the football, so they were putting Shea Patterson to those obvious passing downs. He's trying to create. Give Notre Dame a lot of credit, but also Michigan playing in a phone booth. They're going to have to make some changes. Number 4 is Ohio State. With all the drama, all the talk on the field, how would Ohio State survive without Urban Meyer? They went up over, 77 points, over 700 yards with Dwayne Haskins. Offensive firepower. You could say that between Ohio State, maybe Alabama, maybe Oklahoma, those teams looked as good as anybody in the country. Number 3, the Auburn Tigers. They played a huge matchup with Washington. We knew the winner of this game would be in a position to have a trump card at the end of the year when it came to the committee and the debate, and they took full advantage of it. What a great game, back and forth. They ended up finding a way to get it done with a great defense, doing just enough on offense. So hold on to that victory, Auburn, because that may help you down the road, especially if they lose the Iron Bowl in a close game. They could maybe see 2 teams from the SEC. Number 2 is LSU from last night. LSU did a great job. You know, this is a late adjustment. LSU's defense was on fire. This team out to prove everybody wrong. Played with a tremendous amount of emotion. Big takeaway, just how Joe Burrow played, how the entire LSU team looked. So that's a huge win for them. Keep in mind, Greeny, they have Auburn in 2 weeks. That game all of a sudden really sets up as a mega football game, conference game in the SEC West. And after the way those 2 teams looked, that game all of a sudden becomes that much bigger.
Oh, absolutely. And so that leaves us with number 1, and I can guess where you're going. What was your number 1 takeaway from the weekend?
Well, Alabama, I mentioned that this is a team that can score at will, and with Tua at quarterback, they will. You know, I knew because what I saw from him, not just against Georgia last year, Greeny, but in practice against their own defense all last year, the ball rarely hits the ground when he's back there throwing. It's his ability to process defenses quickly, his ability to get the ball out. I mentioned before the season started, this is Nick Saban's most talented team around the quarterback position. And what he needs is a distributor. Find an open receiver. Come off the first, find the second, find the third. They can run the football. They're 4 deep in that area. The teams are going to really have a tough time stopping this offense, and Tua is going to become the face of college football in 2018.
So the kid has magic in him. There's no question about it. So how is this thing playing out? Saban very notably wasn't telling Maria Taylor that he's made a decision here. So how does it play out going forward?
Well, I think it plays out by, at some point, it is what it is. There's an awful amount of respect and love for Jalen Hurts. He's 26-2 as a starter, did amazing things for Alabama in those 2 years. But it just, there's nothing you can do to stop the execution that you're witnessing. It's like playing a Madden video game. I mean, and I'm not kidding. Like Tua, and I'm not trying to exaggerate here. You guys watched it. He's only going to get better. You know, he's got receivers. He's got tight ends. He anticipates. He throws the ball. He doesn't make very many poor decisions. And when you have a quarterback making great decisions and he's accurate with the football, it is what it is. So I think what eventually will happen is Alabama's going to have to recognize that Tua is their starting quarterback and that there still is a place for Jalen within this offense. He'll come in and have a series here and there. But, you know, we all know that if you watch this team with Tua back there, it's a whole different level with him and his ability to get through those progressions and distribute the football. So it's Tua's offense right now.